What's up, you guys? Hope you had a good weekend, and we're excited to hang out with you guys tonight. Last week, we talked about how the love that Jesus shows and the love that he has for us does not obey any kind of rules or regulations that our society tries to give to it, or our fears or our doubts tries to give to it. And that kind of ties into tonight, how we're going to talk about how Jesus' love is not as complicated as we try to make it. So there's so many things I could list off of how we see the Bible, and more specifically Jesus' love and the love that he calls us to have and show others, as how we think it's so complicated when it's not. Let's start by going back to the basics and look at John chapter 1 verse 43. It's really simple. It's 2 words. Jesus says, "Follow me." So when we think that we have to, this is me years ago, and I have understood that this is not how it works, but years ago, I thought that I had to read the Bible every single day. I had to pray every single day, or I was missing the mark, and I wasn't doing it right. Or I thought that I had to go to church no matter what, otherwise Jesus would be upset with me for not going to church. That is not true by any means, you guys. Having a relationship with Jesus is something that we get to do every minute of every day. And Jesus does not have an expectation for us to go to church every Sunday or every Tuesday at Elevate, or to pray to him every single day. But he delights in every moment that we do pray to him, or read the Bible, or love others in his name. And something that was always confusing for me is how Jesus taught in these parables or stories that always had a deeper meaning, and sometimes it was really easy to see the meaning, and sometimes it was not. So Jesus taught in some ways that could be confusing and complicated, but he also was clear as day with his words when he said, "Follow me." And you hear those words, "follow me," and that seems kind of vague. And you're thinking, well, how do I follow you? What do I do? Jesus says the 2 greatest commandments are love your Father, love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. And you're thinking, wow, that's a lot. That's all of me. Yes, it is. But Jesus has grace for us more than we have for ourselves. So when we don't love him with every part of ourselves, he's not counting it against us. He is just so excited for the next opportunity we get to choose him. Sometimes Jesus spoke in ways that were confusing, but his message was clear and simple. His message was not cryptic, so if you're ever reading the Bible or hearing from someone else and it sounds like one of those crazy math word problems that we all hate and never understand, go back to the basics. Remember that Jesus says, "Follow me, and love others." Don't let anything you hear anywhere else let you lose sight of that. Live every day following Jesus, loving God, and loving others. That's not complicated. The specifics in how we do that, they're not complicated either, but they get more specific. So we can translate that into it being complicated when it really does not need to be at all. Some of the biggest examples are, I know I love the saying, "Put others before yourself." That looks like letting people go in front of you in lines or anywhere else. Not needing to get the last word in an argument. Going out of your way to love others. Thinking, how can I love this person today? What is something kind I can do for this person today? And not need anything in return. Being kind and respectful to your siblings, your parents, your teachers. Being a servant who glorifies the Lord. Those are all ways that we can follow Jesus and give our heart, our soul, and our mind and our lives to Jesus. So it can get really complicated when we throw in people's opinions on theology, on history, on what the Bible truly means, And then people use what I call Christianese, these big words that are in the Bible or that pastors say because it sounds good, but it really just makes things all that much more confusing. Again, while some of that is needed and millions of people study it and it's helpful stuff and good to know, don't let that make you lose sight of how simple Jesus' calling for our lives is. Follow me. Don't forget that. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say about this. I hope and pray that you guys do not get caught up in the ways that the world complicates Jesus' love, because Jesus' love is simple. Excited to see you guys tonight. Hope you are ready to chat it up. Love you guys. You're awesome. Think the world of you.